that I was doing about 15 years ago involved working with abused children, teenagers and their family. I was running groups for sexually abused teenagers and working with foster kids and the foster families as well as the birth family. And I felt that what these children really needed in addition to therapy was strong and stable, consistent, loving families. Even though I was a professional working with foster kids and families, it still was a big jump. After that, I realized that I would need to support other foster parents in their journey. So we started this group to advocate for fostering, to go around to different places to support and journey with a potential foster parent.
Welcome to the Summit series of Voices of Courage Asia, where we celebrate leaders, changemakers, and visionaries who embodied courage and drive transformative impact. I am your host, Joanne Lee, and in this special series, we will explore stories of resilience, leadership, and action taken to create meaningful change. And today, our guest is a clinical psychologist who is working in the government sector in the welfare and social services. And she has also co-founded a fostering supportive network called Home for Good Singapore. And it's my pleasure to welcome Ms. Vivienne Ng to the show. Vivienne, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So for our listeners, maybe you can share a little bit about yourself, and I want to hear more about, what you have started the fostering home. Yes, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm a clinical psychologist by training. I trained in a time when it wasn't the most popular thing to do. I worked for about 9 years at Institute of Mental Health, and then I've been working in my current job in social services for the last 24 years. I think part of the work that I was doing about 15 years ago involved working with abused children, teenagers and their family. I was running groups for sexually abused teenagers and working with foster kids and the foster families as well as the birth family. And I felt that what these children really needed in addition to therapy was strong and stable, consistent, loving families. So I felt led to first foster because I couldn't really tell people to foster if I hadn't fostered myself. So I started fostering, and then in 2013 I started a support network for foster parents. It's been running for over the last 12, 13 years. And recently we became an IPC, a charity.
Wow,
yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And maybe you can share a little bit more how it works and maybe some interesting stories that you have so far?
Well, we are a support group. Having started this journey myself, even though I was a professional working with foster kids and families, it still was a big jump to become a foster parent, partly because I had a senior position as a clinical psychologist in the ministry, and it would look really bad if I failed or if things didn't work out well or there was a placement breakdown. So it took a while and a lot of hesitation on my part before I fully jumped in to become a ministry-approved foster parent. And since after that, I realized that I would need to support other foster parents in their journey. So we started this group to advocate for fostering, to go around to different places. We used to have introduction teas at my house, and we'll get a foster parent to share about their journey to fostering, to tell people that it's regular families like ours that can foster. And then we sort of journey with the foster family as they apply to become a foster family, as they go for the assessments, and finally when they take a child into their home, because there's a lot of preparation emotionally, physically as well, into the house. And sometimes the journey is bumpy. Not all foster relationships work out well. There's a fit between child and parent. There's the parent expectations. There is what the child carries with them as well. So there's a lot of struggles, and we are there to support and journey with a potential foster parent.
Wow, that's really great work that you're doing there.
Thank you.
I love that you mentioned that there is a network for people who are interested to become a foster parent, the home, and of course people that they can a support group they can go to when they meet with problems.
Yes.
So that's really, really very helpful. And I just want to thank you so much, for doing that, so that the little children, or they have a place to transit, and also to live regular normal lives.
Yes.
Before they get back to hopefully their own
Yes.
homes, right? And it's really amazing work that you do there.
Thank you.
Yes. And so I want to know, what is that pivotal moment? When was that, and how do you actually realize that, and how do you approach?
I think in most of the decisions I've made, it would come from there needs to be a meaning and purpose in what I do, and there is a gap that I see that's very glaring. So having worked in the system, I realized that foster parents are not just going to come out of the woodwork. You have to journey with them and walk with them. And one of the best ways to get foster parents is by using foster parents who can actually share about their journey. So I think it's pivotal also because I was at that point, I had my own kids, and we always worry about our own kids. We wonder how they're doing in their education. And I used to think, who worries about these kids if they are in a children's home where there's many, many kids and possibly not enough staff? Who actually worries on a day-to-day basis for these kids? So I think for me, it's always been a gap that I saw, and that's what prompt me to jump in and think about something to help, whether it's work-wise or in this case to form this charity.
Yeah, and it's really, like I say again, great work that you're doing. Yeah, I'm sure you're very busy at work.
Yes.
Very, very, right?
Very.
Yeah, and you found time to, co-found this support network. You give time. You had teas session in your own house, right? People who might be interested in, they are afraid of. You give them examples that they can follow, foster parents to share their stories, exactly like what we are doing right now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So a little shout out that our summit, right? We want to inspire women to really step up as well, and hence we want to help. We bring in the speakers like you to come and share the stories, and also hopefully they can step out of their little world, out of their fears, and join us in our network as well. Yeah. So we also have our network to support the ladies.
Yes, that's very important.
Yeah, and we want to thank you for coming on board with us as well to share your valuable insights. Yes. Yeah. So next question I have would be that how would you encourage and also cultivate courage in individuals, like the little ones that you come across?
I think I work with youth from more disadvantaged families and who from vulnerable populations. So I think what is needed for them would really be mentors, strong, safe adult, consistent adult who will be there. I think that's even more important in some ways than professional therapy. They need someone who believes in them, who is going to cheer them on, who will help provide resources if they need, and just believe that they can do it. And I think that's very similar also for young leaders. It's not too different. Actually cultivating your own child, helping a child from a disadvantaged family, and helping other women leaders grow to become who they can be is pretty much the same.
Nice. And you mentioned, interestingly, on mentorship, and which is a huge topic that whenever I talk to speakers about, there's endless things that we can talk about, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and a role model for the mentor, and I think it works similarly in business as well.
Yeah.
Right? In our lives, actually, we all need that one figure to go to, maybe to look up, and to guide us along. Sometimes we are so worried or maybe we have questions, right? And then there's someone that can give us answers. Yeah, even though now we have ChatGPT.
It's not the same as a human being.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. That human connection is really important, and to actually give time, the bond as well. Yes, and so maybe you can share with us, do you have a mentor in your life, or who do you look up to? And
I think there have been different mentors at different stages of my life and my work. I've had mentors who would maybe take the road less traveled and stick their neck out for certain things that they believed in. And I think that gave me courage to also do the same and not worry too much about what people think, whether it's what people expect of you. I'm even doing something like studying psychology was a road less traveled. I think I would say 3/4 of my class at JC are doctors and the rest are lawyers, a few dentists. So even choosing to do clinical psychology in the 80s was considered something different. But I think if you truly believe in what you want to do, and there are people who can be there to encourage you, then that's the way to go.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. And my next question actually would be, why psychology? And maybe you can share a little bit, because you mentioned that it takes courage. It's not the mainstream kind of profession at that time. Why you took it up?
Well, I think I've always been interested in the human psyche, how people think, believe, feel, respond, how the brain works. And I think I've had friends who had difficult times and I was there for them. I've somehow been exposed to people who had issues, and I think myself as well. I struggled with a relationship with my mom, and I think I wanted to help people. I didn't like to see people who were sad and who were depressed or struggling with their self-worth. So that's how I started on this journey. And I did apply for medicine actually, to do psychiatry, but I didn't make it through the interview, so I accepted a scholarship to do psychology overseas, and that's how it happened. I was one of the first few to be in this area.
Wow. And look what I have brought you to, right? You're doing good work here, and I'm sure you're enjoying the work. And you mentioned that you saw the gap in the work that you do, and hence you are doing your best to actually help close up the gap. And that's really, really interesting. And I want to actually thank you for joining this year's summit, and just also find out from you what motivated you to participate in our summit.
Well, it first came with an invite, because I wouldn't have just volunteered myself, but I did think it was a really worthwhile cause, because if you're talking about leadership, not many people actually are taught leadership. And you don't just, some grow into it, but I don't think it's something where you naturally all have that gift of leadership, or even the courage to take up leadership positions. So anytime I can share with others, or share what I've gone through, or encourage others, I think I'll be willing to do that. Yeah.
And how do you think that women leaders can overcome that fear of failure to lead with courage and purpose?
Well, I think that firstly, women, we don't need to fear failure. In some ways, we're actually less fearful of failure than men to some extent, because I think our egos are not so big. But I think it's able to just go ahead and try and recognize that as a leader, you will have your seat at the table with other leaders, and not all of them are women, but that's okay. You have your own skills, your own expertise, your own knowledge and experience, and all your own passions. And I think it's legitimate that we can try. So I would really encourage young leaders to take these opportunities that present itself. Also, I think you need to know yourself. You need to know whether it's for you. I wouldn't say leadership is for everybody, but there are times where I didn't think I would be in a leadership position because I never was ambitious. I didn't strive to become a leader or to be a head of a department or a director, but it just happened. It just came along, and I think I saw that, and I think as a woman we have I feel I have an innate maternal instinct. So the moment I'm given this role, it's really much about caring for who is under me, the subordinates, and how to develop them. I think it's pretty much like developing your own children. You want the best for them. You want them to grow and be independent and resourceful and take up their own leadership positions. So that's how it kind of just fell into place. So I would encourage people, when the opportunity presents itself, don't shy away. Give it a try. In the end, you can decide, no, it's not for me, or it's not for me now, or I can do it, but I don't, in my priorities, it's not the top of my priority, but give it a shot first.
Good advice. And I hear you, right? So how do we overcome the leadership challenges is that you treat your people, your team like your children, right? And then you guide them, and somehow it might turn out well.
Yeah, I think so. I think when people know you care about them, they always say that they don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care. And I think if my staff know that I really am seeking out their good, and if I give them a feedback that is not from a bad place, it's because I want them to grow and expand their skills and capabilities. And I think with that trust, I think the other thing is to build trust. With that trust, that will help in any leadership position. I guess the other thing I would say too is you have to earn the respect of people, not just your subordinates, but also your peers and your superiors. And I think we have to win the right to be heard. So it takes a while to build it up. You can't come in immediately and just expect everybody to listen and to who you are.
Gone are the days,
Yes.
right? Authoritative leadership.
Yes, it's not so much positional authority, I think, but relational authority. If you want to really influence and have people catch your passion and want to follow you, it has to come from being passionate as well as using your relationship to have others share the same vision with you. People won't just respond because I say so, right?
Yes, gone are the days, like I said, right? Yeah, the younger generations, the students that I teach, right?
Yes.
It's not because you're a teacher, then they respect you.
Yes.
It's because they know you care for them,
Yes,
right? You don't judge. And
Yes.
when you say you don't judge, you mean it.
Yes.
You walk the talk.
Yes.
Right?
That's
and I typically find that servant leadership, it works.
Yes,
very well.
exactly. I think my model of leadership really is servant leadership, because I don't think I'm an authority. I mean, I'm not a very dominant sort of leader, but if you roll up your sleeves and you get your hands dirty and you do it with them and you work alongside, then I think we all work together as a team. I think, maybe the younger people do respond to that. I mean, I've worked under different kinds of leaders, and I definitely know the type I prefer, which is your servant leader, using relational authority and exciting me about the work. I think that's the kind of leader I like to work for. So I try to emulate that for my staff as well.
It must be wonderful working under you.
I know you could ask them.
Yes, I will if I have the chance to.
Yes.
Right. So if there is one piece of advice about courage and leadership, right, you could give to the next generation of women leaders, what would it be?
Don't be afraid to fail. You learn so much from failures. I can't say that everything I did ended in great success, but I think I learned from it. And I have a maxim that I always tell people that like my junior staff, that what won't kill you only makes you stronger. I didn't think I was a very strong or resilient person, but I think with each challenge I face, especially in leadership, when you are thrown there, you have to make the call, and you have to think through all the issues and come to a decision, and you have to get people to follow you. You got to negotiate with another team. You got to have buy-in. I think and although it's been hard, it's been painful at times, but I think I have learned and grown for it. So I think leadership also transforms you as a person. Yeah.
That is such a powerful message, right? Thank you, Vivienne. And your work is a testament to the courage, right? It takes to lead in the space that you are working with. I'm sure it's not easy, right? And I know our listeners will walk away feeling very, very inspired by you. So lastly, I'd like to announce the partnership that we have with PSB Academy, where we collaborate closely and enable students to learn from our guests. And so I have a student representative with me right now who will be engaging in a conversation with you. So welcome to the show. And could you please introduce yourself and share what motivated you to enroll in the school?
I'm Monica, so I represent my team. So we discussed whether career choice are influenced by societal or family expectations and how to adjust our mindset to regain passion.
Yeah, I think burnout is very real in the helping profession, particularly as a clinical psychologist. So we do have staff who burn out at times. Because also this is very high intense crisis intervention sort of work a lot of the time. Firstly, I would say that we have to recognize that burnout could happen to anybody. I've had to tell HR people in the past that it's not because this person is weak. It could happen to anybody if you are overloaded and it's beyond your ability to cope at that moment because of just tiredness, physiologically tiredness, or other events in your own life or your own family and all that. So I think firstly is to accept that burnout can happen. One of the ways is really to have self-awareness, recognizing before it happens that it is coming. If you're starting to not have good sleep at night, you're starting to either overeat or lose your appetite, if you're just like watching Netflix, mind-numbing activities or playing games, computer games all the time, and you know you're just escaping, or if you are getting emotional or short with your family members, I think those are the signs. I remember a staff once who woke up one day and when the husband asked her what's going on today for you at work, she just burst into tears. And that was a sign. She wasn't burnt out yet, but she knew it was coming. And she was doing a very heavy piece of work. So she came to speak to me and said, when I finish this piece, can I take no pay leave for a couple of months? So I said, sure, because we all need to recharge. So that's recognizing it. And of course, other ways you can do is not to be too perfectionistic so that you don't overload yourself. Being able to say no, being assertive enough to say no. Those are things you can do. And not blaming yourself when things go wrong. Because the more responsibility you take, that it's all upon you, you're the only one responsible, nobody else could do this, that increases the likelihood of burning out. So I think I know when I'm able to let go. I usually don't think about work when I go home. When I'm with my family, I just give them my full attention. I mean, my staff can call me if there's some crisis, but aside from that, I do unwind at home and don't think about work.
Okay, so how can we use physiological strategies to improve personal influence and negotiation skills in team collaboration?
I think a lot of psychology teaches interpersonal skills, which are crucial in any negotiation or working in any team. So listening skills, part of counseling is having listening skills, being able to hear that person out. Don't come to a conclusion or don't judge before you've heard that person. Perhaps clarify if you have to, reflect back, empathize with the person you're talking to, and be genuine. because if there are a lot of hidden agendas, it's going to come out. But being genuine, that's important. And I think in any negotiation, we strive for a win-win. I mean, if you have good perspective taking as a I won't say as a psychologist, but as a person, right, a worker, you would want to know what that person is feeling and thinking. You got to put yourself in that person's shoes. What does that person want from this encounter? What are they trying to get out of this discussion? And try to meet it where you can. So I think that is important. That's good psychological strategies, including using humor. That's also important.
Okay, thank you for the suggestion and experience.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to our student representative. Very great questions that she asked there.
Yeah.
You know, burnout can happen to all of us. And so I know the solution. See the signs, right? Recognize the signs. Make sure that we have Vivienne in our company or corporate, right? Because she will know, right? And then, of course, we can also contact Vivienne.
Well, you can help yourself too.
Yes.
Bye.
Jokes aside, right? So it's a wrap. And for our episode today, so if you found inspirations in today's episode, I encourage you to take action. Either it's stepping out of your comfort zone, embracing new opportunities, or supporting a cause that drives positive change. And so stay connected with us by subscribing, sharing, and leaving a review. And if you'd like to connect with Vivienne, right, and of course to support her work that she do with fostering, check out our links in our show notes. And so this has been another powerful episode with Summit series of Voices of Courage Asia. So till then, keep leading with courage and making a difference in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think there have been different mentors at different stages of my life and my work. And I think that gave me courage to also do the same and not worry too much about what people think. If you truly believe in what you want to do and there are people who can be there to encourage you, then yeah, and that's the way to go.